Today we are going to be doing the elimination method a little bit different. It is going to have an algebraic trick. So this is a continuation from the first video you should have watched. All right, so write down example number 4. We're going to have negative 6x plus 6y equals 6. And negative 6x plus 3y equals negative 12. If we recall, the elimination method tells us that we can eliminate a variable because we're going to have a negative and a positive. However, here we have two negatives. If I add two negatives, they will not cancel out. They will just give me more negatives. So I need to make one of them positive. How am I going to make one of those negative 6x a positive? I want you to think about this for a moment. We have two equations. We want to use the elimination method because both x and y are aligned, and I have a negative 6, but I have another negative 6. So how can I make one positive? And this is where the algebraic trick comes in. We are going to multiply by negative 1. And we can multiply an entire equation by negative 1 because as long as we do it to the entire equation, it is okay. Does it matter which equation? No, as long as you do it to every term in the equation. So let's look at I'm going to multiply the second one. I'm going to multiply the second equation by negative 1. And I'm not going to change the first one, so I'm just going to bring it over. However, I am going to change the second one by multiplying it by negative 1. So I'm going to multiply that negative 1 times the negative 6. That's going to give me positive 6x. I'm going to multiply that negative 1 by the positive 3. So that's going to give me negative 3y. And I'm going to multiply it by the negative 12, which is going to give me positive 12. So now I have made it into a negative and a positive, which is what I wanted in order to be able to solve this equation. Now I can add both of them like I had been doing in the previous examples. So I'm going to add these two equations. A negative 6x and a positive 6x is going to cancel out. A positive 6y plus a negative 3y is going to give me 3y. 6 plus 12 gives me 18. And I can solve for y by dividing by 3. Y equals 6. And remember, that is only half the equation. We still have to find our x by plugging it in. Find So again, I'm going to bring the original equation. We don't want to use the change one because sometimes we can make a mistake. So we want to use the original equation. I'm going to use the top one to find x. So I'm going to say negative 6x plus 6y equals 6. We know that y is 6, so let me erase it. And I'm going to plug in 6. So we have negative 6x plus 36 equals 6. And I forgot to erase some work from earlier. So we're going to subtract 36. Negative 6x equals negative 30. Divide positive, 30 divided by 6 is 5. So x is 5 and my y is 6. So your solution is x is 5 and your y is 6. So that is the solution to the system. So let's look at this example number 5. We got 5x plus y equals 9. 10x minus 7y equals negative 18. As you can notice, this one's different from the other ones because we don't have the same number of x's and we don't have the same number of y's. So what are we going to do? How are we going to make the x's the same or the y's the same to the point where I can cancel out? So in this example, to use elimination, you choose what you want to eliminate. And there is no wrong answer here. You have multiple options to what variable you want to eliminate. How can you turn the 5 into 10, or how can you turn this 1y into 7y? Either method works. It really does not matter. So notice that here I have a positive 5 and a positive 10. And I have a positive y and a negative 7. I'm going to choose to eliminate my x's because no reason in particular. So I want this 5 to become a 10. So how can I change that 5? What can I multiply that 5 by to make it a 10? I can multiply it by 2. Again, if I multiply the whole entire equation by the same number, it doesn't really change the equation. That's the beauty of math. You can adjust things to make them work how you need them to work. So if I multiply it by a positive 2, it's going to give me a positive 10. I don't want a positive 10 because this 10 is already positive. I want a negative 10. So what does that 2 have to become? Think about it. If I have a positive 10 and I want a negative 10, so I need a negative 2. I need to multiply that top equation by a negative 2. And when I do that, I am going to multiply that negative 2 into the 5x. That's going to become negative 10x. That's going to become negative 2y. And that's going to become negative 18. And this second equation, I don't change it, so I'm just going to bring it down. So now I have these two new equations, and the negative 10x and the positive 10x are going to cancel out when I add. So I got a negative 2y plus a negative 7y. Negative 18 plus negative 18 is negative 36. Divide by a negative 9. Y equals positive 4. So I was able to solve this one by using the algebraic trick of multiplying by a negative 2, not a negative 1 this time. Could I have multiplied by a 7 to get rid of my y's? Yes, it doesn't matter. Both methods work. So my y is 4. Now I need to find my x. Again, you don't want to use your changed equation because you're more likely to make mistakes that way. Use the original equation. So I'm going to use 5x plus y equals 9. And we figured y was 4. So let me erase the y and plug in a 4. And now we're going to solve. Subtract 4. x equals 1 and y is 4. So our solution is x is 1 and y is 4. Now that we're done with example number 5, I want you to look at example number 6 and example number 7. Please do have these written down. I will still be looking for them. So let's look at example number 6. We have negative 4x plus 9y equals 9, and x minus 3y equals negative 6. We're trying to use elimination because our terms are aligned. And which ones do we want to cancel out? Do we want to cancel out x or do we want to cancel out y? Does it matter? No. So here you can choose to multiply. If you want to cancel out x, what would you multiply? To cancel x, you would multiply by well, here I have a negative 4x, and here I don't have a number, so I need to include the 4, so I would multiply by a 4. If I multiply x by 4, it's going to be positive. So does this 4 need to be negative? No, it needs to be positive. So to cancel out x, you would multiply by 4, the bottom equation. Or you could cancel out y. To cancel y, we have 9 and 3. Can I multiply the 9 by something and get 3? Not really. Can I multiply the 3 and get 9? Yes, I could multiply 3 by 3 and it would give me 9. So to cancel y, I could multiply by 3. And like I said, you only have to do one of these methods, either cancel out the x or cancel the y, but you don't have to do both. So choose one of those and solve. Make sure that you get a positive and a negative because only a positive and a negative cancel out. And then try example number 7 on your own. Do number 7 on your own. I will be checking for this work tomorrow. I am going to give you the answers. The answer to number 6 is going to be 9, 5. So when you do problem number 6, you should get 9, 5 as your answer. And when you do number 7, your answer should be negative 4, negative 4. So if you do not get that answer, check your work, ask a partner. Sometimes it's best to learn from others. And like I said, I'll be checking example 6 and 7 as well as example 3 from the previous video. Good luck.